All right, and welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going over how to pay down a credit card balance gradually. Now, in the previous video, we made the assumption that you were starting with a balance of $0 on your credit card. Now, that definitely made things a lot simpler for the tutorial last time, but a lot of times people are going to be starting budgeting and they're going to have a balance on their credit card. In fact, it's probably one of the big reasons why people start budgeting is they want to reduce their debt and live more frugally. Now, let's see. We're going to start out with the assumption that you have a $1,000 balance on your credit card and that you're going to pay that down $100 a time each month. Now let's get started. We're going to add that $1,000 balance on your credit card. The way we start is we go to Adjust Bank. Let's plug in the date. And we're going to say the credit card on this From column. Now I noticed after recording the last video that for whatever reason my screen recording software does not pick up my drop downs. So from my perspective, when I select this cell, there's a little arrow here that I click and it has a drop down box with the list of my credit cards and bank accounts on it. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying in the previous video when I kept clicking that and you couldn't see it and I never explained what was going on. Hopefully you still found that helpful. Now, when the drop down box shows up, for whatever reason, it just shows me a blank list, like there's no items on it. So I've got to scroll up a little bit and then that reveals my options. Again, you can't see any of this, but when you go and play around in your spreadsheet, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to select a Capital One credit card here, and the amount is going to be $1,000, and I'm going to say starting balance. If we go back to our dashboard, you'll see that the Capital One credit card now has a balance of $1,000. Now, we're going to create a new budget item called credit card payments. Oops. And we're going to allocate $100 a month to that budget. As you can see, we've got 60 on there right now. I'm just going to quickly bump that up. So ignore what I'm doing here. This isn't really too relevant to the tutorial we're doing right now. As you can see, now we've got a $100 balance on our credit card payment budget item. So we're going to go ahead and pay down our credit card. We're going to spend $100. We're going to transfer $100 out of our savings account onto our credit card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our expenses page. Say the date. The bank account is savings, which I'm going to select from my invisible drop down. Category is credit card payments, and the amount is $100. I'm going to say all right, now if we go back to the dashboard, you can see that our savings account is $100 less, and we now have $0 allocated to our credit card payments budget item. But there's still $1,000 on the credit card. So this is a two-step process. Step one was plugging that into our expenses page. Step two is going to be taking the $100 off the credit card. So we're going to go back to our Adjust Bank page, and we're going to do the inverse of what we did to start, putting the balance on. So we're going to say the date. We're going to say Capital One credit card, and we're going to take $100. Oops, my bad. I just said we're going to do the inverse, and then I did the exact same thing. Here we go. We're going to select it from our dropdown. So I'm sorry for that hiccup there. This is what it looks like. So now $100, and on the to column, we say Capital One credit card, and we'll say there we are. If we go back to the dashboard, we'll see that the $100 is now taken off of the credit card, and we're golden. Now, this isn't quite the end of the process, though, because you're going to get your credit card statement sometime this month, and it's going to show you what your accumulated interest was. So we're going to want to make sure that interest ends up back on the card balance. So let's say that in January, your statement shows up and you got $30 of interest accrued on your credit card. So we're going to go back to our adjust bank. Let's say it was a couple weeks. And we're going to put that $30 back on. So it's same thing that we did up here. We're just putting $30 back on the balance. And there you are, $930 on your credit card balance. Hopefully you found this helpful. You can also find the link to the previous video that I mentioned. Maybe you didn't already watch it, where it helped you get set up in the budget. And you can find that here in the help under resources. So setup and basics. That's that video. It's about 15 minutes. You can watch through it and you'll be all set up on your budget. The video you're watching right now will have the link here. And if I add any videos in the future, you'll also find them down here. And if you have any questions or you want any features added, email me here. Oops. All right. Well, hopefully you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.